everyone. This is Melanie from Melanie B's Creative Studio, and I'm finally going to bring you a blending video. Now, I apologize about my voice. I've been coughing for weeks and I've got a fever right now, but I have promised you guys this video for so long, and I keep getting requests for it, that I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this done for you. Because I have just a kind of a coated paper plate that I'm gonna use for mixing paints and doing this technique that I'm gonna show you today. I've also got a brush that I happen to have already, and it's huge, but the only reason I'm using this one is for demonstration purposes, because I needed to be able to show you on a larger scale how to do this technique. Now, you've seen probably other videos about blurring and blending. I'm gonna also kind of show you that technique too, but this one is one that I kind of just came up with the other night because I used to do the one-stroke paint method with Donna Dewberry back in the 90s. So I thought, it is such an easy way to blend two colors together to make a variation of colors. So I thought that would work perfectly for blending. So we're gonna play. Now, I normally would finish my painting first. The reason I wanna finish my painting before I blend is so I know I've got enough paint left to do the blending. If I blend now, there's a chance that I may run out of paint for a certain color and then I can't go in and finish it. So I always wait and do my blending last. Also, the reason I do that is because once I put this painting up on the wall, it may not need as much blending as I would have thought looking at it close up. That is something that you want to consider, because when you look at it close up, it definitely looks different than it does when you put it up on the wall. I'm not going to use these on my painting. I'm just going to show you how to load your brush. I'm using a large amount of those paints on my plate right now for demonstration. What you're doing is you're going to load your brush with part of the green and part of this peach. So I'm going to take this green and I'm going to put it on, put half of it in on my brush. Then I'm gonna take this peach and I'm gonna put half of it on my brush, like that. Then I'm going to be able to stroke this down. And as I'm kind of gradually moving it back and forth, that center color is becoming gradations of both of these. So let's see if you can tell what I'm talking about. So by moving my brush kind of back and forth, I get such a beautiful blend with these colors right here that it's not a harsh line. So when I come over here and I'm ready to blend this section, I can take my brush, which will be smaller, and kind of go on that line. And it's going to give me a soft blend of each color. Now, in this situation, the peach is kind of on the side, on the left. The green is on the right. So because I loaded my brush opposite, I could do the other way. So let's say I'm gonna go ahead and load my brush this way, so that when, on both sides, so that when I get to the section here, and it's peach on the left, green on the right, I can bring my brush down through there and it's going to give me a natural variation of colors. And I'm going to use a brush that I have from my kits that come in with my paint by numbers. This one is a flat brush. I'm just going to use a little bit at a time since I have not finished this painting. Now I'm going to take this flat brush and I'm going to put a little bit of water on it just so it's going to be able to move a little bit. I want to make sure that my bristles are straight out like this. Now in this situation, the green is on my left, the cream is on my right. So I'm gonna make sure that I load my brush this way. I'm gonna dip half of it into the green, half of it into this cream, like that. And then I'm just going to blend it together, okay? So I hope this is gonna be dark enough to show up. So when I go paint over this line, it's naturally going to blend out all of the colors in the range between this color and that color. Now this is a technique you practice with if you want to really just kind of perfect it. Now here I have to be careful. I don't want to use these colors there, but I can come over here and flip my brush over and use them here. Paint is always lighter when you first put it on, and then it darkens up as it dries. So when this dries, if it is still light, I don't want it to look that light. I can come back over it with just this solid green and kind of blend it back out. But do you see how that line just became blurred? Do you see how beautifully and how quickly and easily that blended though? I was so happy when I was laying there trying to brainstorm of a way to blend, and that came to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is such a good technique for this type of thing. So I was really happy for you guys that I remembered this. Now you guys, if you do this on your painting and you don't like the results, paint over it. That's the beauty. You don't have to worry about messing it up because you can just paint right over it. So I'm hoping that you guys are going to find it really helpful. While I've got this combination of paint, as long as I've got a little bit left, I'm going to go ahead and do this little portion over here. So you can see how well this technique has worked to blend these sections here. I can keep working with this if I want to make it even more blended. So the zigzag method is what I'm going to use right here just to show you. So I'm going to take some of the number 3, which is this green, and I'm just going to use a little bit. And I'm going to kind of go back and forth over the line and into this peachy pink color. Now while that's wet, I'm going to take number 4, I'm rinsing my brush because I don't want to reach into this pot with this brush like this. And I'm going to get a little bit of number 4, and I'm just going to go back and forth again. Both of these techniques work, and the reason I'm showing you both is because depending on where you are in your painting, if it's a little small area, the zigzag technique might work better for you. And I'm going to leave it alone for just a minute, let it dry, because I can't tell what I need to do until it's dry. Now I'm going to go back in with number 4, and I'm going to start doing that with this cream section here. Now let's do that with the cream. This helps to cover up your paint by number lines and blend the two colors together at the same time. So it's kind of a twofer. And don't overthink your blending because it's easy to do. All right, now I'm gonna go back in with the pink because I hadn't done the pink here yet. Now, I want to blend my tulips inside themselves, but I don't want to blend them into their background. So once I get to the blending of these tulips, I'm going to work on these a little differently than I am the sky that's up here. Now that this is dry pretty much, I can work on kind of making this look a little bit cleaner if I need to. For instance, right here, I've got a little extra green going into the cream, and if it's still kind of wet, I can use a wet paintbrush and play with it and kind of bring it back to where it needs to be. Now you can always take a wet paintbrush when it's still damp and just blend out this line, the one that is made during the one stroke method. And it will help to just blur those items in together. So I hope this gave you a great way to blend. I've given you a couple of options right now, and I'm hoping that you're going to be able to work with these two options and make your finished piece look incredible.